Hi, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my craft room and happy holidays. I hope you are all having a wonderful Christmas and holiday season. I'm going to be sharing an idea using the latest Glimmer kit of the month called Botanical Crest for a what I think would be a great New Year's Day card. I make very few New Year's Day cards and I generally make them as thank you cards to send to my family and friends who very kind and sent us Christmas presents. So I am going to be foiling on some navy blue cardstock. I thought that would look really pretty with the blush foil that was included in this kit. And I'm going to try and foil both my crest and sentiment. So I'm using my inner die of the crest to make sure that my sentiment will fit inside because I don't want to waste foil, and also it'd be really great to foil two things at once, just to save myself some time. So I have my I use a Gemini Junior, so I have the Gemini foil press as my system, and I've heated up to medium heat and it's doing its thing right now, and it finally told me that it was ready. So I'm going to load up my foil press with my plate. It goes plate, pretty side of the foil up, and then your paper. Now, originally set my first one here to 40 seconds. I fast forwarded through it so you didn't have to sit here and watch my timer go down. I ran my platform through my Gemini Junior and I used my little silicone finger to make sure I didn't burn myself pulling it out. And then I use my tweezers with a magnet, and here you can see how pretty that turned out. I did have a little bit of overfoiling, so I'm just going to turn that down to 35 seconds. And I will repeat that 3 more times because I will be making 4 cards in today's video. I have the two dies that cut out the crest. I love that they're separated, so you could either cut out just around your crest to create one large die cut for your project. You could just use the inner part of the crest and create a window on your card, which would be really pretty if you're creating a shaker card. Or you could use both, like I am in this video, to create a full wreath looking die cut. So I'm using some repositional tape to help hold my dies in place. I am doing my very best to not touch any foil. So I'm placing that tape where it won't touch the foil when it's pressed through the Gemini, which is difficult because this is a very intricate foil plate and I want to make sure I don't ruin it with my tape. So now that I have my two dies in place around the wreath or the crest, I'm going to go ahead and die cut that out using my Gemini Junior again. I'm trying my best to leave the tape in place so that way I could just pick up my die and then place it onto my next foiled image. And then I have my crest here, and now I'm going to pop out the inner part and I'm going to run it through again a second time, this time using the outline die for the sentiment. And I really love this sentiment. It says, wishing you a year of magical moments. So not only will this be a great birthday card, because there is also another foil plate that says happy birthday, but I loved it for New Year's Day. I just think that it's really a positive, uplifting card to send for New Year's holiday, as we're all hoping every year gets better and healthier and safer for all of us. I also use my Kindred Stamps Card Basics die set to die cut my blue backgrounds here. I love the dot and dash design on them, but I wanted to add a little more, so I'm grabbing a wavy embossing folder. This is a retired one from Sizzix Stampin' Up. So I will link down a similar wave embossing folder that I found through looking at scrapbook.com and Simon Said Stamp, but it's not the exact same. It's actually a little wood grain looking, so if you have a wood grain folder, that would also be really pretty. I picked out a card front matching that blush foil as best as I could to my cardstock, and it's this really kind of coral pink color. I'm going to start assembling one of my cards, and then I will do the other 3 off camera assembly line. So I have my pink blush background or my card front, and I'm just using some wet glue to adhere down my textured blue cardstock. I did that because it has the embossing texture in it, and I just want to make sure that it really sticks to my card front. I'm using some foam squares to pop up my crest wreath here, and I'm going to center that to my card. Once that is in place, I'm just going to repeat the same process with my sentiment, just adding some foam squares to the back, peeling off that release paper, and centering the sentiment to my inside of my wreath here. I keep calling it a wreath, my crest. Now, it isn't a very symmetrical crest, so I'm going to lower my sentiment just a little bit so that way it doesn't overlap with anything, and I think it looks really pretty inside that crest. So the Glimmer Hot Foil Kit also die cuts 6 of these little flowers at a time. I cut out what I thought was 6 for each card, so I am placing them around my crest here. And to give them a little bit of dimension, I'm using my little jewel picker here with my pokey end and just pressing into the center of the flower while using my fingers to press the petals up. So it just creates kind of a little bowl inside my flower. I use my jewel picker and my wet glue to glue those down around my crest. And then I wanted to add a little bit more pink, so I'm grabbing my brand new rose gold Pops of Color. It's just like a liquid embellishment. And I'm adding a little drop of my Pops of Color into the center of each of those flowers. Now, when you use it, it creates a kind of like a little Hershey Kiss shaped drop onto the card. So I just tap the back and it helps dome out that Pops of Color. So I completed all 4 of my cards and I realized I have 12 extra flowers, so I'm going to add 3 of them to each card. And I thought I would add them off of the crest just to extend that floral look into more of the card and fill out the space a little more. So I'm using my jewel picker and my wet glue to add those down. I also use the pokey side to give them dimension and then added more Pops of Color to the inside. And that will finish off my New Year's Day cards. I hope you liked this idea and that you'll try it out yourself if you are also a subscriber to the Glimmer Hot Foil Kit. If you are not, I do have a link to it down below. Here is a final look at my cards. I hope you'll try this out yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll click like, and if you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. As always, you can find everything I use down below in the description box. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.